Good morning, FlowChat Connector. In this video, we're going to talk about sales communication for sales excellence. Got a good question asking about some power phrases. And in this video, I'm going to share some things that I know have worked at a very, very high level. Stay tuned. This one's going to be fire. What's happening, FlowChat Connector? Back at you with another high ticket tune-up. Today is Tuesday, and we're going to crush it today. I got a great question that came in from Julie. She asked this. She said, Sean, what are the right things to say when I speak to a CEO? And there's a couple of things that are powerful that will help when you're speaking to the CEO. Now, we call it veto or very important top officer. In fact, there was a book written by David Mattson. It was called 5 Minutes with Veto. I don't know if you've ever seen this book. Very, very powerful book when it comes to selling specifically to CEOs. I studied a lot under the Sandler method and I love it. I think it's a very, very effective sales system when it gets into like the high-end B2B long-term sales, as well as even business to government style sales. When it comes to business to consumer, I think it's a little bit too robust, but again, it's always a sales system for the thing that you're trying to solve. So here we go. Here is the slide deck, and we're going to rip through this because I think this is valuable for everybody. Today, we're going to talk about sales communication for sales excellence. And I'm just going to give you some power tips on some things that I know work every single day. So first and foremost, words have power. Remember this. And as we're thinking about what are some power phrases that we can use when we're talking to specifically a CEO to try to sell to him, here's the thing. If your prospect's engaged, so your CEO is talking to you and he's a little bit engaged with what you're saying, but he requires some help moving forward, there's a couple of conversational starters that have been proven to actually boost conversions. So one of those things is, by the way, right? Why does this work? Because in the subconscious mind or the primal brain, by the way, sounds like, oh, it's a secret or it's something that's forbidden, or it hits on a lot of the other biases. So if your prospect is moving, but he needs a little bit more help moving forward, by the way, is a great little phrase for you to drop in there and be like, by the way, boom, 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 right? Next one is just the other day, tell a story, right? Just the other day, usually liken this to where they're at in their, specific circumstance. So for example, hey, by the way, or just the other day, actually, I was talking to this other company and they remind me a lot of you. And here's why, boom. And you go into this and then how you're able to help them solve them and move forward. That one works really well as well. Next one is, hey, while talking with blank. So while talking with blank, again, pulling other people in, right? This is almost that inclusion through just a third party story. So while talking with Joe, he actually mentioned this, and this was going to help with this other thing over here, and then you can move forward. So that's a great one. And then the last one here is, would you believe, right? Because people always want to believe things that are great and good and grand. These ones, when you get a CEO that you're speaking with that kind of gets stuck, like try one of these things. They're very easy. Take a quick screenshot of this because I know it's powerful. And then one other thing I wanted to share with you guys today is something that I use in every single sales call that I ever do. And I know these are powerful. So I just want to give you a little warm up with these little phrases, put them in your world today, look at them. So by the way, just the other day, while talking with, or would you believe, are great power phrases to get momentum going if you feel like you're losing traction in a sales call. Let's move on. What are the magic 8? Well, the magic 8 is a way to take a prospect or a CEO from a very surfacey level down to a very personally impacted place. And when you can get somebody to personal impact, and that means they have a little bit of an issue, and then you drive it all the way down to how it's personally affecting them. There's a series of 8 questions that you can use in order that will actually help you. I'm going to share those with you right now. But what we want to start with is, how do we pull out that first little pain indicator? We use an emotional trigger word. Now, I wrote an article about this. I'll try to link it down below for you. But the words are like all the trigger things that you know, right? Unhappy, disappointed, concerned, alarmed, frustrated, anxious, fearful, worried, or doubtful, right? So, and the conversation starter sounds like, hey, let me just ask, are you unhappy that this is going on in your business right now? Right? Very simple. Hey, man, people are coming to me right now. They're super disappointed that this thing's going on and affecting their business. That's not happening with you, is it? Oh man, I just recently helped someone who was super concerned with this. Boom, right? Now you can see how to throw the emotional trigger word in there. And if that hits, right, whatever the pain point is that you share behind the emotional trigger word, they're going to be like, yes, that's exactly the problem, right? When you get the yes out of using an emotional trigger, we move to the second stage, which is this. Here's the magic 8 questions. And you use these directly in order. very simple. Oh my gosh, tell me more about that. And they say, well, yeah, it's been kind of a big problem. Well, can you be more specific? Like, give an example of exactly how big of a problem it's been in your world. And then they start getting into their story. Well, how long has that been happening? Pro tip here, something's happening to your prospect for a shorter period of time than a longer period of time, they're going to want to fix it sooner than later, okay? So when you understand the time that it's been happening, then you say, well, what have you tried to do to fix it? Because typically if somebody is trying a lot of different things, they're open and receptive to you closing a deal with them, right? So if they're trying a lot of things, be excited. And hey, did that work? Hey, what did you try to do? And did you do this? Did that work? Or have you tried this? Or have you talked to that person? Did that work? And you get them to speak out all the things they've tried. Most people haven't tried more than about 2 or 3 things. And then you look like a pro because you're actually throwing other suggestions and ideas and everything else. And did that work? They're going to tell you no, 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 no. And now they've got this story told in their head where they're like, oh man, like nothing's working. Sean, you seem to have their solution because you're asking the right questions, right? Well, how much do you think all those things have actually cost you? And I do this kind of in sequence. So I'd be like, what did you try? Did that work? How much did that one thing cost you? Did you try this? Yeah, I did. Oh, okay. How did that work? Well, I don't know. How much did that one cost you? And see, now I'm starting to build the stack of value of dollars that they've spent on things. And then I go, well, how do you feel about all this? Like, gosh, can't feel that great, can it? And you want the negative reaction here. And then lastly is you haven't given up trying to solve this problem, have you? Like you're trying to solve it now. Well, yeah, Sean, that's why I'm talking to you. Okay, cool. So I know why you can solve the problem. Let's go on. Are you concerned with this? Are you frustrated with that? Are you struggling with this? And you go on to the next pain indicator, depending on how big the sale is, right? Whatever your ticket or your value of the dollar is going to be is dependent on how much pain you have to collect and create personal impact. And that, my friends, is the lesson for today. Take a snapshot of this because I know it's really powerful for everybody watching this. And I can tell you this move right here, when you get this part of your sales conversation down, you will dominate anything, all of them. Every one of them. I promise, I promise, I promise. And with that said, you've just been tuned up. Don't forget to smash that like button. Share this out to other people that need this information. Feed those algorithm gods. And I can't wait to see you next time.